Well, I didn't see this coming today, but I had been saying it would make sense for Nintendo to show a new Smash character in a general direct. We got a mini direct, the first of its kind, I think. And really, I mean, at 22 minutes, that's not even that many, but I guess that's half the time of a normal direct. But they kind of just low key, casually said, "Oh, by the way, we have an update about Smash. We're gonna have a character. It's gonna be from Arms. It's gonna come out in June, and it's kind of like I think what they did is they learned that maybe we shouldn't just have a character like be announced and released and like shown off and shown everything about it like right at the last second, because without showing who the character is and hyping people up for it, I think a lot of people got let down. They got really excited to see Byleth, and I really think the right call would have been to show Byleth at the Game Awards, and then when they revealed it, it wouldn't have like no one would have been upset. They would have been like, "Oh, yeah, we already know, but now we get to see how Byleth plays." So, instead, I think like there's some negative reactions to it, but so this time around, we're already first thing off the gate, not a third-party character. It's a Nintendo character, and it's a character that a lot of people probably didn't expect because of a few reasons. But right off the bat, I have to say before I go into any details that this is huge. This is a bombshell, but some people might not see it that way because they're like, it's Arms. And look, I get that. I don't care that much about Arms. I mean, I don't care about Arms at all. But at least Arms, though, is like, it's cool. Like, it's cool. It's just not my favorite. It's not the coolest thing ever. But, like, it's not bad. Like, there's some cool characters in it. Like, I really like a lot of the character designs. And there's a lot of good ideas with the fighting mechanics. But, like, what it's interesting is that Arms already has multiple things in Smash, right? And I know you could say, well, Fire Emblem had things in Smash, but Byleth is from a brand new Fire Emblem game. There wasn't a single spirit from Three Houses in Smash until Byleth was put in. Arms is not like that. Arms has Mii costumes based off of Ribbon Girl, and I think there's one of Springman, but I know there's at least one of Ribbon Girl. It has a fighter assist trophy. It has Springman, who's an assist trophy, so like Springman's already in the game, you know? And I mean, if Springman is the character, that would be crazy because that means an assist trophy got upgraded to a character. But I don't think it's going to be Springman. So, and the other thing is that there's actually other spirits from Arms already in the game. So I'm sure they could still release it with spirits, like with other spirits, because they always release those other spirits on top of the new character. So I'm sure they could still do that, but there's already certain spirits from Arms in the game, so like it's kind of crazy, right? Like this character could be the first character who has a spirit who's turned into a character, which would be fucking huge, right? But I think at the very least it already confirms that these things don't matter in season 2. Like I think a lot of us, Arms was just off of our radar at this point because why would they do Arms now? They could have done Arms earlier. And, you know, Springman's already in the game, so what's the point? You know, this adds a lot more credibility to a lot of other things. Like even Monster Hunter has a chance, I think, in my opinion, because there's, you know, at first I thought there would be no Monster Hunter character because Monster Hunter is already in the game because of an assist trophy. And now I'm like, well, I don't know. I don't. Assist trophies don't matter anymore. Like, if there's an assist trophy from a game, it doesn't mean a character is counted out just yet. You know, but it has to be like the main character. Well, the thing is that Springman is kind of the main character, and if they did Springman, then Ribbon Girl could be like an Echo Fighter of Springman. But they're not doing that, I don't think, because if they were going to do Springman, I don't know why they wouldn't just say, "Hey, it's Springman." Because, like, saying, you say Arms and you think Springman. So, like, when they say, hey, we have a new character, it's going to be from Arms, and then they didn't show the character, it's kind of like, I guess this is not going to be Springman. Now, there's a few theories about this. It could be a character like Hero, where 4 of the characters will be, well, like, it'll be 4 characters from Arms, but they'll just be different, like, costumes. Or it could be, like, there's an Echo Fighter or something. Or multiple, like, If season 2 started with an Echo Fighter, that would be freaking huge. If there was like, not that the character would be an Echo Fighter, but there'd be a new character plus an Echo Fighter to go with it. That would be crazy. I think our minds would be blown if that happened. That would be nuts. But I don't think that. I think if there's going to be an Echo Fighter, season 2 is the time to do it, but not as its own standalone character. It has to be a part of a new character as well. But yeah, I mean, that's the biggest bombshell of today, is that a character whose franchise and game is already in, because Fire Emblem was already in Smash, but the particular game of new heroes of Three Houses was not in Smash at all in any capacity. So all the Three Houses content is brand new thanks to the DLC. So that's why it's crazy, because like, who will this character be? It doesn't even matter, because ARMS has only one game, and content from that one game is already in Smash. So season 2, I think Sakurai has just said, yeah. And my general theory was that in season 1, they had all the characters already planned out. The character list was finalized, and then they started doing the spirits, making the rest of the game. And by that point, they probably had when they're making the spirits, they had all the characters already planned out. So they're like, okay, let's go ahead and make a Geno spirit. Let's go ahead and make a Rex and Pyra spirit, because they're not going to be in the game. And then for season 2, it's like, okay, I know I put Springman in as an assist trophy, but I could still put an ARMS character in, because like, and Sakurai is probably just like, because I want to. That's why. Because he wants to. Sakurai can do whatever he wants because he wants to. He's in charge. He can do that. So who else will be in the game? I mean, I think Geno's shots have shot way up. You put your stock in Geno, boys and girls. I think Geno's way up there right now. But I also think that Rex and Pyra have a huge shot now, because as we know, Sakurai is a fan of Xenoblade 2, but also a lot of us were guessing Rex and Pyra would be in the game. I was really into that before I started playing. Once I actually played World of Light and saw that Rex and Pyra have spirits in the game, and I was kind of like, I don't think characters with spirits are going to be DLC, because it doesn't make any sense. But now that we're on season 2, and something I've been saying for a long time is characters who are spirits might get confirmed in season 2. And that's what we've seen already. Now, the character from ARMS might not be a character who has a spirit, but what I'm saying is that there's already content from ARMS in the game, and so therefore I think the whole spirit thing doesn't matter anymore. And so I think Rex and Pyra shots have gone up as well, because again, the reason why people wanted them in the game in the first place, it's not just because they like Xenoblade 2. It's because on paper, the ideas for the character writes itself. Like, some people are like, well, will it play like Shulk? I don't think it's going to play like Shulk at all. His sword is kind of like Shulk's sword, but it doesn't necessarily need to play like Shulk that much. But it could borrow some things. But I don't think it's going to use Monado arts or anything like that. I think instead it's going to use different blade types. Now, you get like, Joker could switch between personas, and they didn't do anything with that. So it might not do anything with that. But it might take advantage of the fact that in Xenoblade 1, you just play as Shulk and his allies, and they all have weapons, and that's it. But in Xenoblade 2, you get 3 characters, plus they all have a blade. And the blade is not a weapon, the blade is another character, so you have 6 characters on screen at a time. And that's where Pyra comes in, the girl with the red hair. And that's why she's always with Shulk, because those characters are like your support units, but they also, what they do is they change your abilities. So if you change your blade into a different character, they'll have a different variety of moves. It basically just changes your move list, so that's important. Now, they could do something like that, or they could do something where, there's just like multi-hit attacks. Like it's like two-person characters similar to Ice Climbers, except for they wouldn't fight identically. They'd fight more similar to Rosalina and Luma, but maybe there'd be something else about them that's, special and different. Like maybe, what I'm saying is I don't think it'll be a carbon copy of another character already in Smash. I think it'll be something more interesting and unique. Or they could do something where you have different blade types, or you could do something where, because Pyra and Mithra are basically the same character, but they have different abilities, you could do something where Pyra and Mithra switch. Or you could do something where some of the costumes, it's Rex and Pyra, and some of the costumes are Rex and Mithra, which would be really cool and interesting. There's a lot of possibilities you could do with this character, and that's why people really wanted to see Rex and Pyra / Rex and Mira, or some sort of move where Pyra and Mira can switch as like the down B, kind of like Pokemon Trainer, and that changes all your B attacks, but maybe your A attacks are always the same, but your B attacks are different depending on if you have Mithra or Pyra in. So again, I've made videos on this character already because it's just when you hear this stuff, you're kind of like, wow, that's really cool that's in Xenoblade 2. It's like, yeah, no, the character makes itself. Like literally, a character like that would be perfect for Smash, literally. And Sakurai liked that game. He said he liked Xenoblade 2. And we got a Rex Mii Fighter costume, and we got a bunch of Xenoblade 2 stuff in Smash. And and it's like, yeah, that was probably because we're not getting that character in the game, but maybe now that we're doing a season 2, he's like, no, I'll put this character in the game. I like Xenoblade 2. Put Xenoblade 2 stuff in the game. So that's the big thing to take away from ARMS, right? Now, I might do a video later on which ARMS character it could be. I have a few ideas of who it could be because I don't think it'll be too outlandish. I'm going to try to like base my guesses based on like what they've done with Pokemon over the years. But as of right now, to me, the biggest takeaway, the biggest draw from all this is that Season 2 is different, man. The rules have changed, confirmed. And, I was thinking like maybe things will be different for Season 2. They are definitely different for Season 2. The floodgates are freaking open. A lot of people have been guessing at this, but this is just like the complete confirmation. Like, I'm sorry I'm stuttering because like it's exciting. It's exciting news because so many characters have a chance now. Even people who want Shantae have like a reason to be happy. Again, I don't think it'll be Springman because that means that'll be a confirmed that assist trophies could be playable. If they do that, I don't think they're gonna do that for like all 6 characters, okay? So a lot of people who are like, oh my gosh, all these characters possible. Remember, it might not be a single other character they break the rules for, but I do think that they will break the rules again. I do think so. I don't see why they would only break the rules for ARMS. So if Springman gets confirmed, I think we should be looking at Waluigi because assist trophies could possibly become characters, and he would be the first one. I think he would make the most sense, more so than Springman. But I don't think it'll be Springman because, like I said, why would they say a character from ARMS and then just do a Springman? Like, why not just show Springman? So either they're going to put Springman in, but only alongside like other characters. Like they could do Springman, Lynn. Like I think the girl's name was Lynn, the girl who had like the noodle bowl or something. Her name was like Lin or something like that. They could do her. I'm sorry if I get way off. It's going to be kind of embarrassing, honestly, but I haven't played ARMS since like it first came out. They could do her. They could do a Ribbon Girl, and maybe like one other character who is very similar to to Springman before it's like, too crazy. Because like they can't do like the mummy character and the gooey character and stuff like that. If they're going to do Echo Fighters or alt costumes, sort of similar to Hero. So that's all I'm saying is either they're going to do multiple characters and it's going to either have an Echo Fighter or there's going to be like multiple costumes, or it's just not Springman because otherwise, again, they could have just said Springman. So I really only think it'll be Springman if they do multiple characters. But again, if they do Springman at all, then fuck, then it's like, okay, fuck me, because that's an assist trophy being upgraded to a character. So this is huge news. Like some people might not think it is because like, okay, we're wasting a character slot just to say news. It's like, okay, but consider this though. If you haven't played a game, because for me, these 5 characters were all games I was familiar enough with where I was like kind of excited for all of them. Like I was, even for Dragon Quest, I was like, oh, cool. Like, yeah, Dragon Quest is cool. Yeah, I'll take a Dragon Quest character. ARMS is a game that I barely played and I didn't really like that much. And it's kind of like, I think a lot of people are kind of like ARMS didn't really take off and explode the way that Splatoon did. Splatoon really earned its place in Smash. And ARMS didn't really do that. So it's like, why are they putting an ARMS character in? But it's like, consider this, though. ARMS could play really, really well in Smash. Like, it could be like a version, it could be like a slower, floatier version of Little Mac with better jumps and with insane range, you know? Like, its forward smash could just be a full-on stretchy punch. Because when you think about Mega Man, and when you think about Simon Belmont, like, their forward smashes go really far. So why not, you know? So why not have like a forward smash that just goes really, really far? You know, they could have some really crazy range. That's been a thing lately, is they've been doing characters with really crazy range. But if they do that, they're gonna have to kind of be a slower character to balance that out, so it's not too broken. But it could be like a heavier, floatier. I'm thinking floaty because it just makes sense with that character. But maybe I could be wrong there. Maybe it could be like really heavy. I just feel like floaty makes sense. But it could be like a version of like Little Mac with a really, really long range. Maybe not as fast, but I feel like it would have to hit hard. Like a character whose arm that springs forward and punches you, I feel like that would fucking hurt. I feel like there'd be a lot of momentum in that punch, and it would really fucking hurt. So I feel like it's got to be a heavy hitting character. And so and what if its grab is, you know, sort of basically like a tether throw? What if it's like a tether throw because they have spring arms, and then it could grab the ledge with its spring arms? Like, you know, the possibilities for an ARMS character being good makes a lot of sense. And you have to remember, there's a weird dynamic with Smash characters. Is like, one, they're characters we all recognize from different video games, but then two, this is still a fighting game. So even if your favorite character from your favorite video game gets put in, for me, like, you know, Snake is one of my favorite. He's maybe not my favorite video game character, but Metal Gear Solid is, you know, that's like my favorite franchise ever when it comes to video games. And like, you know, I don't play a Snake. I can kind of play Snake, but I don't really like playing Snake that much. But a lot of people who play Snake aren't even necessarily Metal Gear Solid fans, you know? They just kind of like think Snake is cool and like his moveset. And that's the thing. It's a fighting game, you know? A lot of the characters I like, I'm actually pretty good with, but I'm good with Sonic and Mega Man now. But in Brawl and Smash 4, I was not good with Sonic and Mega Man, you know? I just wasn't good with them. And it's kind of like, damn, those are like, you know, I love those video game characters. I grew up loving Sonic and Mega Man. Like, I've always loved Sonic and Mega Man more than Mario. And, you know, and think about all the Castlevania fans who probably don't play Simon or Richter ever, you know? So that's the thing. Like, just because there's a character you like, you know, doesn't mean you'll necessarily play that character, even if it's your favorite video game character of all time. So Smash has a weird dynamic between it. So you gotta take that. And so for me, if the first thing where it's a character I love from a video game isn't applied, and I'm not gonna complain because Smash has so many characters I love already. I like the fact that Cloud and Sonic and Snake are all in the same game, and then they put Joker in from Persona, and it's like, what the fuck? And then like Ryu and Terry are in the game, and it's like, what the fuck? I didn't deserve this. I don't deserve all this great kindness from Nintendo. So like, I'm not gonna complain either way. But like, if a character doesn't fit that criteria for me, where it's a character I love from a video game, the next thing I jump to is immediately, how will they play? Will it be interesting? Will it be fun? Will it be good? And then I'm like, yeah, I think there's a lot of potential for an ARMS character. I think they could play really, really cool in Smash. So therefore, why not? Let's do it. Like if it's like, therefore, that sounds awesome. So I'm gonna end this video here because I don't need to make it too long, and I will try to make a video where I try to decide who I think will be the character they put in. But I am kind of wondering if they'll do multiple, because that would be pretty cool. But I'm gonna end it right here, and I'll see you guys on the next one.